Hello and welcome to another episode of One Fall WrestleCast Live. Tom and I are here with you today, fresh off of what was WrestleMania weekend for WrestleMania 42, live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Uh, Lots to talk about. Lots to talk about concerning WrestleMania. Really excited to have this conversation with Tom. We did a pretty good job this weekend of just throwing a couple of little things back and forth and kind of really just keeping to ourselves so that we could have good quality conversation for y'all today. So, with that being said, we'll catch you on the other side.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
What's up, dude?
Nothing. Was watching wrestling and
Yeah.
now talking to you. Still being thwarted, by the way, by the weather. It fucking snowed today.
Yeah, it was quite frigid today for where we've been. You know, the worst part is I had planned on Sunday afternoon stripping the Jeep down for the summer. You know, putting the soft top on it, putting the trail doors on it. You know, getting it ready and right for the summer. And yeah. Needless to say, the freeze warning that I received when I woke up on Sunday morning kind of put a damper on those plans.
Yeah. So like what was it? Thursday, I'm looking at the weather. I'm like, "Oh, actually Sunday is going to be like 60 at night. It'll be good." And like the weather's not going to be bad. Saturday might get some rain, but so we'll skip Saturday, but I just got electricity. I got new outlets put in outside, got the electrical work all sorted correctly, got a real life electrician out there to fix the boomer shit that had been going on in my house with whatever bullshit fixtures he had put out there. Got stuff really, really nice. Got the deck all cleaned off. Got some of the spots sort of touch repainted with like the deck repair kind of like paint that like is that like rubberized paint that's super nice. And like really got the deck in good order. And I'm like, oh, fucking WrestleMania Sunday. We can be out here drinking some beers, watching some WrestleMania. It'll be good. You and I were talking about it on like Thursday. And then by like fucking Saturday, that shit had shifted. Like actually it's going to be 40 Sunday night and also probably raining. It's going to storm Saturday and bring this new thing. This thing shifted and we're just going to get fucked. And then it's going to freeze on Monday. And I'm like, what? So WrestleMania Saturday rained out. Despite me putting 4 hours of back porch and yard work in. WrestleMania Sunday fucking also rained out, surprisingly enough. It rained like at 8 o'clock and cold as shit. And then couldn't even watch the first hour of Raw today because I'm pretty sure. What's the temperature out right now? Oh, it's 43. It's 40 right now. But yeah, and it snowed earlier. Like I can't even anymore with this shit. I'm like, I think I texted you on Saturday. I was like, well, maybe SummerSlam will fucking cooperate.
Yeah. Definitely. Hopefully, SummerSlam will cooperate. Yeah, it was not what I was expecting to happen this weekend. You know, I had it all planned out for me to make a reasonable time exit on WrestleMania Saturday to be home to watch WrestleMania, and instead I got home and turned on the old ESPN Unlimited app, and I was on the co-main event, and that was where I started my night Saturday. And then, you know, and I had also planned to visit one of our mutual friends on Saturday for WrestleMania viewing party, and was unable to do that because of said work obligations. And then Sunday was Sunday. And yeah,
we were thwarted. It was a thwarted weekend. Soccer game.
You know what it is? Do you know what it is?
We tried to make plans.
We didn't do our normal Royal Rumble routine, so therefore our Sunday WrestleMania routine was just simply cursed.
It was. We were screwed. We need to remedy this coming year. In some way, somehow. Maybe I'll come to you this year. Maybe we'll go. Can you convince Keglers to put on the Royal Rumble? I'm going to be on ESPN.
We'll do that every once in a while or not.
Yeah, let's just come twist somebody's arm. Come to you.
Yeah,
Let's at the bar, get him to do that, and we'll twist somebody's arm. It'll be great.
So, plenty to talk about when it comes to WrestleMania, but I do want to start somewhere else. And I'm extremely, extremely intrigued to get your opinion on this. And I'm going to read this little blurb that I have a screenshot of because it's pertinent to what I want to discuss to open today's show. And this is off of the Book of Faces, the thing that I kind of need. This is sometimes how we get content for this show because I think things are interesting and I think that they're great talking points for you and I. However,
I feel like some of it's made up, but go on.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, but still, they do create good talking points.
A topic is a topic.
Anywho, Tony Khan has completely ruined the strong AEW momentum by burying the guy who has been carrying the company for weeks. Having the title off of MJF is the worst possible thing TK could have done, especially when fans are upset at the WWE booking and looking for a change. Instead of giving them solid storylines, TK went for shock value. Giving the title to Darby Allin is a horrible decision when we just witnessed a banger match this past Saturday between MJF and Kenny Omega. This is a poor and horrible booking decision by Tony Khan.
So that the MJF versus I do want to talk about that match, MJF versus Darby Allin, because I watched that too. But MJF versus Kenny Omega, I do want to talk about that. But let's talk about this first. Was it I feel like that's overblown. I appreciate the shock value. I do. Initially, I was like, oh, there must be some reason MJF's going to go film a movie or something. But MJF has squashed those rumors and said, no. That is not the case. I'm torn on the decision, and I'm going to be completely honest about that. One, I think Darby's a twat. I don't like him at a personal level. Dude was on Chris Van Vliet not too terribly long ago. And, Chris Van Vliet was like, oh, people compare you to Spike Dudley because of all the insane bumps you take and yada, yada. And now Spike Dudley being a legend, a hardcore legend, is just a guy. Spike Dudley, whatever. Spike Dudley was great. Darby, instead of, doing the humble wrestling thing, he decided to be like, oh, well, I'm a much better wrestler than Spike Dudley.
Okay. Hold that thought, because I can't. Dawn the Barber back from the dead. It's the Raw after Mania, and here we go, Flyers. Here we go.
We're not talking about that. Did you know that you can simulcast Raw and the Penguins game at the same time? Because I found that
Dawn the Barber, it's the Flyers game. Even though I'm fairly certain he's a Bruins fan, and I don't know why he's in here trying to troll us on Pittsburgh sports right now.
Because he's trying to interrupt my train of thought. And also because I called Darby a twat. I think that's...
Well, he did successfully because I allowed him to.
Anyway, so all Darby would have had to say during this interview with Chris Van Vliet is something to the effect of, Spike Dudley walked so that I could fly, or something to that effect, right? That's all he had to say. Take the humble route that is still like, fucking love Spike, but what I'm doing is, I stood on the shoulders of giants, kind of a thing, right? Something to that effect, paying respect to the man while saying, I took what he did and I ran with it, something to that effect. But no.
Oh, so you wanted him to give the fucking Mark answer?
Yes, absolutely. I wanted him to give the fucking Mark answer. But
Oh.
instead, he decides to disparage him, says he can out wrestle a lot of guys, and that he's just a better wrestler, and nobody can out wrestle Darby Allin because he's the best wrestler alive, especially the best wrestler alive who climbed Mount Everest. So again, I'm torn. Like I said, it was a nice moment at the time. Sting was there, gave Darby a pep talk backstage ahead of time, and then came out and supported him, which was cool to see. It was a nice moment, but I think it depends on where they go from here. Again, I will point out though, kudos, because they did just have usually after they have a pay-per-view over the weekend, they immediately phone it in on Wednesday. And it is a dog shit show, and they start from like ground zero. So, I guess Tony's been listening to me saying, "Oh, let's see if they just decide to not show up for a couple weeks before they build to something new."
What it is, yeah.
But they certainly came out and did something wild, and caught people's attention, caught my attention. I mean, I watched the show, so I'm torn. Like I said. I'm not a Darby Allin fan, but I don't necessarily think it's this like doom and gloom, horrible. Like the IWC seems to have like taken the ball and like jumped off the cliff with it. This is certainly a sort of, I think what they're going for was that like Mick Foley winning the title on Raw, and when oddly enough Shivani was on the call for this too. Shivani's like, "Oh, Mick Foley won the title. You don't have to change the channel." And everybody changed the fucking channel. This was their sort of Mick Foley winning the title, in my opinion. I think that's really what they were going for, sort of in the shock value, especially after he won it, especially after a great match although it was a weird kind of mix of styles. But a great, MJF versus Kenny Omega, which is, something that they'd been teasing for a while. And
did you just give Kenny Omega credit?
No, actually, when we talk about this, I'm gonna pick him apart, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. I again torn. How do you feel about? I'm sure you saw.
I mean, I saw it, and like, I don't know, man. I appreciate the shock value thing, and it's funny because I had read somebody, one of these little blurbs that we were talking about. I don't know. It was probably Thursday.
Yeah, it's probably when we were talking about fucking being on the porch.
My internet's doing that thing right now. But it was like it might have been Thursday before the AEW pay-per-view, and it said MJF's going to retain this weekend, and then or maybe it was after it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter when it was, but it says MJF's going to lose to Darby Allin on Wednesday just so that Tony Khan can fuck WrestleMania up. And I was like, well, that's a weird thing to say, and then it happened, and I kind of felt dirty a little bit, I think, because like I have a problem with Darby winning the title. It's just, what have you done for me lately? And I think that it takes a little bit of the legitimacy away from MJF, even though like people are calling this a squash match.
So if it's not a squash match, it's sort of a gimmick kind of thing, because like. And this kind of ties back to the match that Kenny and
kind of caught him off guard, caught him in out of
caught him with a low blow.
No soul, a little bit off of his mindset, maybe.
Well, and also he had just come off a match, a long, grueling match with Kenny Omega, and so I mean, I think in storyline it makes sense. I don't think it's a squash at all. I mean, it started with a low blow to MJF. And then he just he ate a bunch of coffin drops, but it managed to be for a title, not just like, some kind of segment going on there.
And this is now the second time that we've seen MJF kind of lose in this fashion, where like he's distracted himself on something and then just gotten absolutely dog walked. Brody King did it to him, a month and a half ago on Dynamite. And, is this some kind of character flaw that they're trying to to expose on Max, or is this just Max trying to give these guys a little bit of boost off of his star power? Like, what do you think that is?
I think it's the latter. I think it's Max trying to build up people around him, because top guys need other top guys to be top guys. You can't sit at the top of the you can't sit at the top of the mountain without top guys to fight you. And Max knows that AEW needs stars, and he sees, okay, Brody King could be a star.
Yes.
So Brody King's got to win over him. Look, Darby's over with that AEW audience. He absolutely is. There's no
sure.
denying.
I mean, he's been over with that AEW audience since day one.
Yeah. So I think that doing it from the perspective of MJF, and MJF is fine coming out of this. Again,
for sure. No,
the logistics of this, I don't think make a mess at all. So whomever said, "Oh, Tony Khan did it to fuck up WrestleMania," could fuck itself up without any help from AEW. And I don't even, these are very separate things. It's like, Coca-Cola is gonna fuck up Sprite, and it's like, no, it's not. It's totally different.
No, because it owns Sprite, so that doesn't
right,
make
exactly.
sense.
Okay, so Coca-Cola is gonna fuck up Jack Daniels or something. I don't know.
That would be tragic.
It would be tragic. It'd be
I mean, what
the best cocktail in the world. Still, the only reason to drink Old Number 7 is with Coca-Cola.
There's some fucking bourbon sickos out there that genuinely enjoy drinking Number 7 on the rock or neat or on the rocks. Like, listen, I drink a lot of bourbon and a lot of whiskey neat, and Number 7 is not one of those choices.
Oh.
I rarely reach for Old Number 7 to put in my Coke. Yeah,
I don't even have Old Number 7. I don't think I've purchased an Old Number 7 since I was in my 20s.
Now, however, those single barrel selects,
I do have
discovered
one.
the black label one.
I do have one.
I'm telling you need to get the gold label one, bud.
I do have. I will. The gold label was not on sale, but next time it's on sale, and I deserve a treat.
It might be a little spicy for you, but you can add just another little extra ice cube to it.
Spicy doesn't bother me. Spicy doesn't bother me.
They're a little spicy.
Some of them
are a little mean.
So I like I love the cola note that Jack Daniels has, and I love that the black label, the select black label, takes out all that garbage water flavor, and it just leaves all those good flavors of the Old Number 7. I'm a big fan of what they've done, of how they've somehow extracted the good. Big fan of that. It's really nice.
The single barrel selects don't go through the charcoal mellow process. I'm fairly certain that
I don't really
Jack,
like that.
The Tennessee whiskey,
like the Gentleman Jack. I don't like that mellow process because it just, at least the Gentleman Jack, I don't like because I feel like it tastes like garbage water without the cola note. They filter that out.
We digress. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know, man. For me, this whole Darby thing, let's see where it goes. I don't imagine that it's going to be a very long title reign.
Right, and I think that's the thing, is that, like, it depends what they do with this, right? It was a shock value after a pay-per-view, and I think it's easy to criticize AEW for like just dropping off after pay-per-views, and they didn't do that this time. But it depends. Like, let's see what they do. I think Darby certainly holds it to the next pay-per-view, whatever that looks like, but probably drops it there after being probably half murdered, which is fine. I think that's
what if
fine.
It's somebody like a Brody King, or maybe a Bobby Lashley, or somebody like that just comes in and just fucking David versus Goliath and just beats every loving fuck out of Darby. Maybe it's Samoa Joe coming back.
Honestly, if it was either Samoa Joe or Bobby Lashley just beating the brakes off of him, but then you get those little glimpses of, oh, could Darby do it, kind of a thing. I don't think it could go better than that. I don't think Darby pulls it. I don't think Darby should pull it out. I don't think he's got. I think that, you need somebody to beat the brakes off.
In my opinion, I think that's the only way that you save this as something credible, is that you just put Darby in there against a fucking monster and just have him continue to just do what he does and get his ass beat until he can't get his ass beat anymore, and then he finally has to take that pin.
Yeah. And I think either, like you said, Bobby Lashley or Samoa Joe, I think would be phenomenal. Or Brody King. I think Brody King's a great call too, if I'm being honest. I don't know why Brody and Darby would feud. But it's AEW. They'll it doesn't need to totally make sense. They'll figure it out.
Brody King.
You back?
Usually once the big meltdown happens, we're good for the remainder. So hopefully that stays that stays true.
Got the clog out of the artery.
It's like as everybody just like slowly trickles off of their devices around bedtime. Even though I'm hardwired, and that shouldn't make any fucking difference, but it does. So yeah, so I don't know. But I don't really think he answered the question. Do you think that this was a smart booking decision?
Like I said, I'm torn. Do I think it was a smart booking decision? No. Unless you've got a plan. I feel like AEW often doesn't have a plan. And I'm worried that they don't have a plan, because a lot of times when stuff like this happens, it's like, oh, are they going to do something cool with this, or is it going to fall flat on its face? Like every single time it falls flat on its face. So that's kind of my concern with this, is that oh, cool, they did a thing that people are talking about, especially during WrestleMania weekend. Okay, I'm torn on the decision because I'm not the biggest Darby fan. I'm torn on the decision because I feel like MJF really had a head of steam here, but at the same time, it certainly got eyes and ears on the product at a time where they kind of needed some eyes and ears, especially going into what is wrestling's biggest weekend. So not a terrible idea, but do they have good ideas to follow this up with? And I think that's really the question that I have, and why I'm torn. I could very well be coming in. Oh, next week, by the way, I'll be flying home from Italy. I won't be in, but I could be very well.
I think we already planned for that.
Yes. But do we, or actually it'll be the 2 weeks, because I'll be flying out. I'll be in Italy on Monday, and then I'll be flying home the following Monday. So I'll still be on a plane. Actually, I might be. I don't know when I get home. I might.
Yeah, I'm working on still having a show next week. I'm in the midst of some extremely tough negotiations.
You should. Are you going to actually show up and hold him hostage with the phone?
We've got some.
All right, I like it. Good. Then I can watch live. Hopefully, it's 3 p.m. I might just beat it.
Yeah.
We'll see. What
Anyways.
I think it depends on what they do with it. Was it a great decision? No. Could it make sense? And could I be like, oh, this was cool? Maybe. I hope so. I hope AEW does a thing where I'm like, oh, this is good. However, the track record doesn't always lead there.
I will say this. It was definitely a risk, and it was a ballsy decision. Was it the right one has yet to be seen, but I think from the standpoint of, like you said, going into the most visible wrestling weekend of the year, with that type of traction and chatter amongst pro wrestling enthusiasts, I think that is a good place to be. And really, really interested to see what they do with it. Obviously, Collision was on Thursday, and I'm fairly certain nobody watches Collision, much like nobody watched Rampage. So, it is one of those things. But I will be interested to see what this looks like come Wednesday evening, and see kind of how they're gonna approach this. So that will definitely be must see. Quick thoughts on the Kenny Omega MJF match, because we have a ton of things to cover with WrestleMania.
Yes, quick thoughts. Kenny Omega MJF. It was a great match, but it was a weird battle of styles because MJF sold everything. MJF made everything look real. Kenny Omega no sold so much shit. Had the decision gone the other way, had Kenny Omega beat MJF, I would be shitting all over this match, and it would have been the first thing I would have come in spitting fire about. Like, fuck this match, fuck MJF, fuck Kenny Omega, this fuck AEW, this is bullshit. Kenny no-sold like half of everything MJF did, and would come up, spear. But in the end, he did eat the pin. So, after all of that showboating and what have you, it really kind of ended up being sort of a battle of styles. Yeah, I like your banner, by the way. It really came up sort of a battle of styles that I feel like at the end of the match kind of worked, only because of the result of the match. It wouldn't have worked had Kenny won. And for me, after having watched it and going, fucking Kenny's going to win this. This is bullshit. Like, this is me grumbling through the whole match. And then MJF pulls it out, and I'm like, okay, I like it. I was wrong. Totally wrong. Tom is a hater. Yes. Anyway, that's it. Those are my thoughts. Those are all the thoughts. Battle of Styles.
I actually kind of enjoyed it. I watched the
I said I enjoyed it. I liked it.
I watched the expedited version on YouTube, and I thought that it was pretty well put together. And those guys, I don't necessarily remember them ever having a match in AEW before.
I don't think they have. I think this is the first time.
And I felt like that they had some chemistry. And now, mind you, I am not an avid AEW guy. They lost me a long time ago. But I do still, obviously, we have a pro wrestling podcast. I have to have my thumb on the pulse that is AEW. So, like, I am aware, right? Yeah, I felt like that had them never having a match together before. Like, their chemistry looked really good, and I thought some of their spots looked genuine. And I don't get where we're particularly what you're talking about, Kenny no selling. I don't recall seeing too much of that, but that's
there was a lot of just sort of popping
not
up,
letting things register. And
yeah, there was a few not letting, like, popping up and just kind of shaking it off. It was I was looking for it, so it was a little much for me. But it was, after seeing the finish, I'm like, oh, okay, oh, all right. So I'm not.
We did see a one-winged angel on WrestleMania. I don't.
We
know
did.
That if
they called it the sandstorm.
Yeah, the sandstorm. Listen, if you know who it is, drop it in the comments. I'd be interested to hear. Yeah, so despite all of the AEW chatter surrounding the new world champion, the machine kept on rolling, right? WWE obviously had Landmark on the weekend. Tony Khan tried his best, but ultimately the company in New York kind of took over the weekend headlines with its two-night extravaganza known to the mere mortal as WrestleMania. And this was the 42nd edition of WrestleMania, which just tells me one thing, that you and I are fucking getting old.
I'm glad the first one happened before we were born.
Yes, but not by much.
Not by much.
We were both. I'm fairly certain we were both cooking.
We were in utero, yes, but it happened before. Well, we're born pretty late in the year. It was maybe right before.
I would have been, for sure.
Okay, close. I don't want to think about that. That's just, it's too close. It's too close, I think, is the pro for me. It's too close. What could be happening during WrestleMania 1? It's too close.
That's fair.
Yeah, too close. Exactly.
That Rowdy Piper.
At least he wasn't in blackface for that one.
Yeah. What was that? 2, 3?
2.
That's all been deleted from WWE.
Yeah, you can't watch that anymore.
That's nowhere unless you have physical media of that somewhere.
You have it on a VHS tape.
That is
with a Blockbuster sticker on it.
That is a thing of the past.
Actually, it's probably one of those big bubble tape ones where you open it up. You know, like the Disney movies were.
Yeah. So WWE obviously dominated the headlines. And they spent a lot of time kind of going after casual fans.
So much time.
So much so that Saturday Night WrestleMania, the first 2 hours
were commercials.
I mean, the first hour was on ESPN2.
Yeah, so was the second.
The second night, Sunday, it was on ESPN proper.
Oh, right. Yes. It was on ESPN2. You are correct.
So, but they started off with the Usos, LA Knight versus Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed. Now, obviously, the Usos and LA Knight are all over every single WWE branded piece of television or advertising. LA Knight's in a fucking tax commercial, for fuck's sake.
He sings in the tax
and he sings in said tax commercial, and so does Penta. And I get all of that. I understand all of that. There's other money making avenues for these folks. But I say all that because he's a recognizable face and he's a gimmick that a lot of folks seem to enjoy. Tom and I have debated a lot about LA Knight's relevancy into the WWE machine and what that means and what it looks like. And could he be a champion? Should he be a champion? We've gone round and round and round and round. But one thing that both of us will agree with is that he is a marketable act for their product.
Yeah.
And they started off the fucking weekend on ESPN2 with their most marketable people against YouTube stars.
Well, Logan Paul's a full-time guy.
Yes, but he is globally recognized because of his time spent on YouTube.
You are correct. So, and the Usos are the Vision is the tag. So the tag titles were neither of the men's tag titles were on the line for this WrestleMania, which is interesting.
I think it was okay because both divisions suck right now. Move on.
Right. Sure. They absolutely do. I can't even tell you who the SmackDown tag team champs are at the moment. This match was going into it.
I think it's the Wyatts.
Is it still the Wyatts? It was the Wyatts. I don't think it's still the Wyatts. I think somebody took it from them.
Oh, it's Damian Priest and R-Truth.
Right. We didn't see them at all.
They defended the titles on Friday.
They did. They defended on Friday. Okay. So I just mean we didn't see them at all on the shows.
No, but we sure shit saw Danhausen.
We definitely saw Danhausen.
Interact with John Cenahausen.
That was fucking great, is what that was. All right. So this six-man tag matches are bullshit. Can I just get that out of the way by saying this wasn't
without saying had no business being on the show, but I understand why it was.
It wasn't even the worst match on this night. It wasn't even the worst match.
No, it wasn't.
Although what happened to Austin Theory? Because at some point he just dematerialized and they just killed Logan Paul.
Well, it's because he was the nameless gray face and he deserved no TV time because they were trying to use their most marketable stars versus their YouTube stars.
Yes. Well, he dematerialized at some point. Never came back. I don't know what they must have shot him. Did they shoot him and bury him under the ring? Anyway, this was more of a gimmick. It was more of a. It wasn't really a match. It was Aisha Speed got pinned pretty quick, and then they beat the shit out of Logan Paul, and the crowd cheered. It was what it was. You knew what it was coming out. Just some good drone work, getting into it. I don't know. Yikes! But honestly, it was exactly what I expected. So I was like, okay, there's the opening. It opened.
All of like, what was it? I think maybe 11 minutes is what.
Yeah, totally. Like including entrances and everything, and the whole little after spot where Aisha Speed jumped off the thing and went through the Spanish announce table onto Logan Paul. I think the total was 11 minutes.
7 minutes and 7:08 is what Wikipedia says. It was 7 minutes and 8 seconds.
Really, that fast? Well, at least they didn't. At least it didn't. It didn't wear out its time. It was a tight little thing. So maybe that's why I'm not like, I don't have a whole lot of hate for it, because it was over real quick. The crowd got to yeet. I get it.
Yeah.
It was what it was.
So 28 minutes later, we finally get Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre in the ring.
Why was this unsanctioned? Like, this was barely a hardcore match.
I thought they did a good job. This has been a blood feud and it needed a big blow off. But I thought they've not had they've not even had a wrestling match. They've just had a lot of interactions. So this was like their first official match.
It was,
I don't remember, at least
unsanctioned.
And I mean, it was unsanctioned. So like, I don't know. Again, TV gimmick, right? I thought that they did a good job working a wrestling match inside of an unsanctioned match.
I thought it was fun. I thought this was perfectly good. I had no problems with this match. It was a touch short, but that's
14 minutes and 9 seconds.
It was like a touch short, but not the worst thing. Perfectly fine. After that, I'm like, okay. Like after the initial segment, I won't even call it a match. Gone in this. Okay, this is fine. All right, that was fine. I had zero problems with this. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. If I'm going to grade it, it got a solid C. It was perfectly fine. It did what it needed to do. It built from where we were. We got that blow off blood feud thing. Jacob going over Drew. Drew going to film Highlander. I assume Drew will come back and they'll reignite this or whatever. And maybe Jacob
probably for the championship.
Yeah, Jacob will have a title on him at that point, probably.
Because I imagine he's probably next in line for Cody Rhodes.
So yeah, I mean, I didn't have a problem with any of this. I thought it was perfectly good. At this point at WrestleMania, and I'm like, fuck, there's a lot of commercials going on here, but like, it wasn't like I hadn't soured yet.
It started, and mind you, we're still on the free broadcast on ESPN2 at this point in time.
Right. This is the pre-show, and it's still it's a totally acceptable pre-show at this point. So,
we roll into the premium content on the app, which takes us into the women's Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match between the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, and the Bella Twins. But however, the Bella Twins music hits, and here comes Nikki hobbling out on her little crutch with her little walking boot because she had to make it all about her.
She could look, but you can't touch.
Because she needed all of the attention and all of the money to just go right into her little bank account. So she had to make sure that she went out and told the world that I can't get healthy for this match, and I'm so sorry.
She tried so hard for you guys. How do you try hard to fix your ankle? Like you gotta will it. Like
but I didn't want to ruin this moment for Brie, and I called an old friend, and then we hear the hawk, and here comes Paige,
which we had heard had just signed with WWE on Friday morning.
Yes, Friday morning.
Friday morning.
And here comes Paige out to fill the Air Jordan 1s of Nikki Bella.
This was the worst match on the WrestleMania card.
Buddy, it wasn't even close. Now listen,
this was dog.
I think that we made some questionable
from the get-go.
And listen, I knew that it was downhill at the entrances, and I'm gonna make this as politically correct, and I'm gonna try and I would just love if you would just take this comment and we can just roll past it.
Okay.
I knew that this match was destined for doom due to some wardrobe choices.
Oh boy.
That were made by some of these women. And then when Nikki Bella came out and cried in the microphone, and then Paige comes out fucking to a cold arena, which was a monster pop.
Who the fuck is this? We don't know who the fuck this is. The arena had no idea. Yeah. They were dumbfounded.
Monster pop once they realized who it was. Paige is back in WWE, thrown right into a storyline that has been doomed since its inception, and then thrown into the most obvious outcome that could have ever been written in the Bella Twins winning the championship, and them not even saying, we probably shouldn't still do this.
So, okay, I have a couple points on this match, and I will leave because I know the entrance that I'm going to leave that out of it. However, why? So I know that Alexa Bliss was supposed to be a moth. However, once she took the wings off, she was absolutely a cast member of the Broadway production of Cats. Period. That's what she looked like in the ring. Secondly, moving on, Brie Bella is the worst wrestler alive. How the fuck she gets in the ring? Unreal. This match was 6.5. It was mega short for as many people.
Hold on, I got it right here. 8 minutes and 33 seconds.
For as many women as there were in this match. Holy shit! I feel like I blinked and it was over. Who did somebody actually come out and assassin murder like everybody? Because the finish also the worst fucking finish ever. And I really need to like wrap my head around this because this was like I'm just firing questions at the screen as I'm watching this match. One, didn't Paige and the Bellas always hate each other? Like yes. Both they were never once friends. So like this is kayfabe wise, this is bullshit. This is stupid. Two, Nikki Bella was a heel, a full-on heel against Stephanie Vaquer until her sister showed back up, and then, hey guys, my sister's here. Now we're baby faces. Face turn. It was a big show face turn. It made no sense.
Yes.
Three, the finish. So you're telling me the finish is Nikki Bella pulls, I think it was Alexa Bliss, out of the ring, beats her with a crutch. Meanwhile, let's not forget there's 7 other women around that are in this match, that are actively in this match that has only been going on at this point for 7-ish minutes. Beats her with a crutch, throws her in to where Paige hits the rampage, and pins her 1, 2, 3. Where are the 7 other women, the 6 other women in this match? Where are they? Who killed them? They're just not there. Nothing happened to them. They're just not there. They fucking wandered off or something. This was the stupidest match I've seen maybe to date. This might be the dumbest WrestleMania match in the history of WrestleMania.
And I'll be the first one to say it. Like there was timing issues. Like it was sloppy.
It wasn't even that like the wrestling wasn't good on top of that, but like the whole booking of it. The whole booking of it was just asinine. It was I never understood from entrances, like the entrances seemed botched. We botched the entrances, we botched the match, I don't know that we botched the finish. We just made the most nonsensical finish I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's like, oh yay, thank God Paige is a champion again. She's back. Oh my God. Like, what? No, nobody can be happy about this. There's no way anybody's like, oh, this is cool. Like in fact, if anything, the internet is not giving this match enough hate. This should be like, this match like is cancer. It's terrible. Nobody should do matches like this. It's fucking awful.
No, and the thing is, the internet's not the only attention the internet's given this is the Paige is back.
Terrible match. Like unbelievably. Bailey walked off pissed as fuck after this match. Like this was a terrible match. Everybody looks terrible in this match. You may as well throw those women's tag titles in the garbage now.
I mean, it's been that way for years as it is. And then you could see the writing on the wall as soon as Brie Bella came back. It's like, oh, they're going to win the tag titles at WrestleMania. Yeah, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And they had to throw together this shitty fucking fatal four-way match because the Bellas can't hang in the ring by themselves. They needed all of this nonsense. And then Nikki got hurt, and instead of pivoting and pulling the Bellas out due to injury, they hodgepodge a returning Paige in there, and they jimmy her into a corner that she doesn't fucking belong in.
I will give the only credit I will give to this is that Paige is a better wrestler than Nikki Bella, despite only having wrestled like maybe 6 matches in the last decade, and Nikki has far more.
Well, I mean, you're rage baiting me right now. I see what
I'm just saying. Like, Paige is better than Nikki. It's not even close.
Like, but you're trying to get me to go on a Nikki Bella rant, and I'm just not going to do it.
Okay, all right. We should move on from this match because we've already given it more time than it actually got.
That's facts. Moving on, we had the Women's Intercontinental Championship between Big Time Bex and AJ Lee.
You and I are going to have differing opinions on this. I thought
I liked it.
Yes, that's why. So
I liked it a lot, actually.
I feel like it was super short on purpose.
So much. I liked it so much that I've batted around all day on whether or not this was going to be my match of the week. That's how much I liked this match. I thought these two women went out there and they did what they needed to do with the 8 minutes and 15 seconds that they got. This match deserved every bit of 15 to 17 minutes. But they told a really, really good story in the time that they had. They made every minute count. This was a great match with two great performers that have told a fantastic story. AJ Lee has looked nothing but stellar since her return, and I don't.
She's only wrestled Becky,
and that's all that she needs to do. She can only wrestle Becky forever, because those two have had great matches.
Okay, so I will agree with you that Becky and AJ have had really good chemistry, and Becky has been able to really kind of take. AJ looks green to me every time she goes out there. She looks,
because Becky's on a different fucking level.
Becky's on a different level, but it looks like AJ trusts Becky so much that she just lets her lead her the whole match, and it's worked every time. The promos have been great. This match, I don't agree that it needed any extra time. I think it got 8 minutes. I think it got every bit of the 8 minutes that it deserved. The correct decision happened. Becky regains the Intercontinental. That makes her a 3-time Intercontinental champion.
Yes.
I think. Yes. Which is obviously the most. Which I honestly I love. Truthfully, that's the part that I love, is that like it creates that stat of like, oh, Becky's a 3-time Intercontinental champion. That title has existed for what, 18 months?
Yes.
She's a 3-time Intercontinental champion. Fantastic. So I thought it was a solid B overall. I thought it went as long as it needed to go. I think that I'm done though with Becky and AJ.
AJ's definitely going away for a little while. I think so is Phil.
I don't think Phil is, because Phil came out tonight and had a weird promo, but it was cool. It was fine.
All right, well, I'll check it out.
But AJ, I don't think AJ. I think you're right on AJ. I think she's gonna take a little break. We might see her at SummerSlam do something. Maybe poke. Maybe force Becky to lose to Bailey or something. I don't know. Anyway, I think there'll be something, but I don't think we'll see her again until closer to SummerSlam. But no, you're right. This was fine. This went in and kind of after the fucking turd that was laid down before them. To their credit, they had 8 minutes to like pick up a holy shit, you guys shit the bed. What the fuck even was that? Kind of match, and they had to go out there to a crowd that was like, what the fuck did we just what was that? What were you watching? Anyway, it was fine. I hate the position they were put in also, because they really had to go out to a crowd that had died, that was just killed dead.
So where did you disagree with me at? I felt like...
Oh, I didn't think it needed to be any longer. I thought 8 minutes was great. I
felt like you could have used 5 or 6 more minutes. So, I don't know. Differing of opinion, I guess. But I thought the match was great. Yeah, it was definitely to this point has been the best match of the night in my opinion. I mean, Jacob.
I mean, that's probably true.
So, and then we get a little nugget of a surprise after this one. Little music hits. I'm in the zone. And then here comes Bianca Belair. Crowd goes fucking wild. Everybody's excited. The EST is back in WWE. She's still got tape on her finger. And then
although it's not this big. It's
no.
normal size with tape on it.
And she comes out and announces to the world that she's pregnant. And Michael Cole says, "Oh, congratulations to Bianca Belair. We're so excited for you."
And Montez Ford.
And then obviously her husband's Montez Ford. Is that really where we're at right now with the Street Profits?
I thought this was a cute moment. But yes,
and she's obviously her husband's Montez Ford.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen them in like 6 months. So they've had time. Is what I think what we're to deduce from this is that they've had time to get busy to produce offspring. However, I will point out that Wade Barrett was like, this baby is going to be the best wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
And he's probably right.
Well,
this kid's going to be...
Let's not forget, Rue Lopez does exist.
That's true. Rue Lopez does exist. Rue Lopez could also be... Honestly, both these kids, if they're of the same gender, these kids could fight the fuck out of each other.
And like, let's not forget that like Johnny Gargano's got Star Fox, you know, like.
That's right, I forgot. I don't think that kid's gonna be very big.
No, but I mean, he could still be a great wrestler.
Yeah, just be a little guy.
That's all right. He's gonna be the kid with the hot mom growing up.
It's a hard crown to wear.
You know, and who knows? Maybe he'll have like reverse osmosis, platosis, and he'll be like 8 feet tall.
He'll have that weird giant syndrome.
Yeah.
He'll be like 7'3". That's Johnny Gargano's kid. What the fuck? Or like Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens not that tall of a guy.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens' son, fucking huge, giant man. If he works out and gets in shape and gets into wrestling, all Kevin's like, oh yeah, he wants to train. That kid does not look like he's training. That kid does not look like an athlete. I mean, maybe he will be. Maybe he'll train. Maybe he'll be great. I mean, his dad's great. His dad doesn't look like an athlete. But we'll see. hard maybe on that one.
And then we roll into Rue Lopez's father, Seth Rollins, versus the Ring General, Gunther. This match got 17 minutes and 52 seconds.
I thought it was really good. I really liked
too.
it. To me, this was the best match of the night. This was the best match getting to here. I'm like, okay, cool.
I really felt like the Rollins household turned this fucking show around.
Yes.
And that like couldn't have been in any better of a spot for like Bex and AJ to come out and really bring the crowd back to hey, this is fucking WrestleMania. And then you get the feel good moment with Bianca Belair, and then you go into Gunther and Rollins, and they just tear the fucking house down.
They did. And the returning Braun Breaker at the end, I thought was I was happy to see him back. I was like, oh, okay. That spear didn't hit as hard as I thought it was gonna, but also he ran downhill for a really long time, so probably was trying to just not kill himself or Seth.
Yes. And I think that his spear is more like Bobby Lashley's spear. It's a little more glancing, as to where it's not like a Goldberg or a Roman Reigns spear that really just gobbles you up.
Right. And also he was fucking booking it downhill. Like, we know the dude hits the ropes at 23 miles an hour anyway. So he's just booking it downhill.
Yeah.
Let's maybe don't hit a guy going 30 miles an hour with your own shoulder, because like that's not going to end well for either of you. He did the roll thing. It was the internet criticized it. I didn't hate it. The ref missed it. I thought that spot looked good. And then, Gunther took advantage. Gunther pinning. I think that was the right decision. This was one of those like matches that was thrown together at the end, sort of out of necessity, but at the same time, it was great. Like,
they're calling this a technical submission.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was basically hit by a train, and then in kayfabe,
and got choked out.
Yeah, and then got choked. Like, I'm pretty sure if you choke out somebody that was hit by a train, and maybe Rollins addresses this tonight. I don't know if he's here. I mean, I don't know if he's in a hospital. But this was
a local medical facility.
I mean, they have not left Las Vegas yet, so he could be. Maybe he cut a promo from said medical facility.
Maybe
that's how I'd have done it.
But yeah, I thought this match was fucking great.
Best match of the night. Not by a lot, in my opinion. Now the bar was low. Bar was low this night.
Okay, now you're just being disrespectful to the match that came before this.
I'm being disrespectful with the 4 matches that came before this. Anyway, I still thought I thought this was good. To me, this was like, okay, this is why I tuned in tonight. This was worth me watching to this point. I like this, and I like where it's going to go, because this only goes in good places from here.
And they did a really good job making this feel personal in such a very short amount of time. And
a week and a half.
Yeah, like they did a really, really good job with this. That one promo, that one in-ring promo, that one in-ring conversation between the two of them, it felt really thick and really tense, and it translated very well through the TV camera, and it made you feel like these two guys don't fucking like each other.
There have been no complaints about this match. There's been a lot of WrestleMania Night 1 complaints. This match has basically just been like, nope, this was good. Let's just move on. We're not going to complain about this because this was good. Like I said, I've seen some complaints about the spear, but again, I don't want to see him lay it in at 40 miles an hour. I would like for them both to show up to work and wrestle the following day, and I know how human bodies work, so
let's pop that hernia right back out.
Exactly, and maybe the shoulder and like Seth Rollins' chest cavity. Like, let's just not do that, right? Let's get everybody to the show the next day, and they did that, and it looked good. I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I had no complaints about it. I mean, yeah, like I said, I just look at his spear as a little more glancing than it is solid, and that's just kind of how it's been, man. So,
It was a good camera shot too. The camera pulled away to Seth's to his roll off. I thought the camera work went really well.
So, A+ for me too. Great match. Moving on, we get to the Women's World Championship match with the Royal Rumble winner Liv Morgan taking on the champion Stephanie Vaquer. This has been like super personal. Like Liv telling Stephanie that her mom's a whore and like all of this stuff like that's been going on. On a personal level, it has been like really dramatic. It's been a lot of fun to watch. And then, obviously the two colliding heads, Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan colliding heads. Liv still looks like she was in a fucking car crash. And then Stephanie Vaquer,
her face still looks bruised.
Stephanie Vaquer fucking tweeting the doll with the dented head at Liv Morgan. I mean, they did a lot to make this match mean a lot, and they got a whopping 6 minutes and 51 seconds.
This deserved at least twice that.
I'd say 3 times. This deserved every bit of 20 minutes. This was probably one of the best built matches of the entire weekend, from a storyline standpoint, and you rewarded it with the least amount of time on the show.
Yeah. This was I was more mad at the time this got than I was the actual match itself. I liked the end when the Judgment Day came out and kind of just fucked it up for Stephanie. I feel like that really, and this is probably why it got less time, is that this is going to carry over, right? We're going to get more of Stephanie versus Liv. We're going to get a rematch of sorts. And maybe Stephanie and Liv part 2 at Backlash gets 20 minutes. And I hope that's the case.
Yeah, but that's still not going to be as meaningful as your Royal Rumble winner.
You're right.
Taking on your most touted women's champion, because
Absolutely.
I mean, Jade Cargill is at this point in time is a picture. She is a selling point. She's a talking point. Stephanie is the better in-ring competitor at this point, and you've got your Royal Rumble winner against it.
And I think Liv's matches are really good.
And they told a beautiful story leading up to this, and you give this match 6 minutes and 51 seconds. I think it's a fucking embarrassment, is what I think.
Yes. I think that if you're going to be mad about night 1 and the time and how the time was allocated, this is where you're mad about it.
I mean, it wasn't much better in night 2, if we're being fair, but we can get into that as we get into night 2. It was a little bit better. But this to me felt like, to this point, like this has been nothing but throwaway matches. And I hate to use the Tomism, but this felt like a glorified house show.
This felt like a mediocre SmackDown.
Somebody said this was Saturday Night Raw is what I saw on the old Twitter machine.
This to me, I'm like, this is just mediocre SmackDown. Like this is it's long. There's a lot of commercials. Nothing's happening, but there's things going on, but nothing's really happening. Yeah, there were some title changes, but like it was so fast.
There's been 3 to this point.
And it was so there's so many out of nowhere kind of finishes, right? And it's
3 title matches, 3 title changes.
Yeah, so many like out of nowhere kind of finishes too. And it's like we've done 3 out of 3. Like, oh my god, Nikki Bella with the crutch, which was awful. I can't remember the Becky and AJ finish, but it was also kind of out of nowhere. I think there was some cheating involved. And then Liv and
there was she ran her into the exposed turnbuckle.
Right, the turnbuckle. It was kind of, and that was kind of not really. Okay, so that one maybe wasn't exactly as out of nowhere, but the Gunther and Rollins was, and then Liv Morgan and Stephanie. You had your standard. The Judgment Day comes out, except instead of helping Liv retain her title on Friday night, or Monday or on Raw. They helped her win the title at WrestleMania, but it was still in like 6 minutes because you had Roxanne Perez out there distracting the referee, and then you had Big Mommy Cool come out there and just fuck Stephanie up and lay her out for an Oblivion, and there she got the Oblivion, and that was that. It was this. She got the Oblivion on a chair, right? This was hardcore, no false count anywhere, something like that. But it happened in the middle of the ring. Anyway,
no,
yeah?
This was not. This was a regular match.
Regular match. All right, anyway.
Before we get into the main event, I was just kind of scrolling here. DirtSheets.net on Facebook has tweeted out or put out Ariel Helwani on WrestleMania. Ariel says, I'll be 100% honest, WrestleMania 42 felt soulless. The whole thing felt soulless. That's the term I use for the Apex, and that's the term I use when I see the AI stuff. But this one was on a different level. That did not feel like WrestleMania. It felt stripped down. It didn't feel big. I'm not against advertising, but there are ways to do it with grace and class. Literally everything was for sale. They have gone from nothing to completely overboard.
Yes. Especially night one, but the whole thing felt like we were rushing towards commercials.
Yeah.
At all times. We would come back from commercial breaks to new commercials and sponsors. Like breaks for our sponsors. Like I know that like for a long time, and Snickers wasn't even a sponsor this year, but for a long time we'd be like Snickers satisfies. Like we'd get a lot of that as you saw the shot of the crowd, and like or Mountain Dew or whomever it was. But this was like what? It was like we were rushing through matches just to get to the next commercial break, and it was the same sets of commercials. Apparently, if you were watching internationally on Netflix, you got a lot of like a Hulk Hogan documentary. We didn't get that on ESPN. We got a lot of commercial break. We'll start soon.
Yes.
We'll your program will start soon. I'm like, what is happening? Like, what's even going on? But like internationally, there's like a 3-minute Hulk Hogan commercial. I don't know. Night one was the most egregious offender, and by this point, like everybody's kind of like, God, this was kind of bullshit, wasn't it? Like we had the worst WrestleMania match in the history of WrestleMania. We've had now the most rushed WrestleMania match in the history of WrestleMania. Why am I?
We're gonna go ahead and end. We're gonna go ahead and end the night with our undisputed world championship. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton with Pat McAfee.
This has made no sense since inception, and it makes no sense to this day.
Mark Shapiro tweeted out earlier, said today in a press conference or something, some sort of financial whatever, that TKO absolutely controls WWE's creative, and that they understand that some of the decisions that they make may influence the product negatively, and that's a sacrifice that they're willing to make.
So because Pat has a show on ESPN, we can force insert him into something. I mean, this never made sense. Like we had talked about, who could be on the phone? We don't know. Apparently, the initial pitch was that, it's Aleister Black on the phone, and Aleister Black is trying to coax out.
I don't believe this either. I think
I don't either.
I think this is some sort of backdoor feeding the dirt sheets bullshit to cover their fucking ass because they got told what to do, and the fans hated it, and it didn't make sense.
Yeah, that actually makes more sense. No, it didn't. And I mean, so this whole match was kind of weird.
And I understand that Aleister Black was in the background of a lot of those Randy Orton talking to people backstage segments. But I don't believe that. I think that they were.
You think they just tried to set it up as a red herring so that they could create an excuse and say, yeah.
Yes.
It's like, well, he was in the back of the segment. It's like, oh, okay. And then they're like, oh, well, fuck TKO, and they were just trying to save face.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
This match was the second worst match of the night.
Ric Flair said this is the greatest wrestling match that he's ever seen.
Can Ric Flair see anymore? Because his eyes got to be bad at this point. He's just not wearing glasses on purpose at this point, right? Like, because this match was awful. It kind of brought out the worst in both of them. They're going to try to spin it storyline wise because Punk did it tonight. Oh, you lost to a mentor. You lost to a friend. I lost to a guy I hated. I had to fight a guy I hated. That was easy. Kind of a thing. That's the gist of the promo Punk cut tonight. But I mean, and they're trying to save face on this, but this was absolutely like commandeered by TKO and just ran into the ground as just a stupid, like, well, we want Randy Orton, we want Cody Rhodes. This is going to happen. This is going to be a main event. This is going to happen, and we're going to build it. And we're inserting Pat McAfee because a lot of people watch his show in the afternoons on our thing, and you guys have not delivered the ESPN ratings that ESPN thought they were going to get. And that's just a true statement. Numbers back that up. ESPN's comments back that up. That's just the truth of the matter. There is buyer's remorse with ESPN and TKO and the WWE PLEs. They paid a lot of money for just some PLEs that have all at this point been lackluster, watered down versions of what they used to be, or even what they were on Peacock. And this WrestleMania Night 1 and this WrestleMania Night 1 main event is absolutely that. It was just
wasn't good. Wasn't
got
good.
Through it. And then so Pat runs out to count for that to because the ref's knocked down. Pat eats an RKO for reasons still unexplained to me. And then Cody Rhodes takes that opportunity, Randy giving Pat an RKO, to one-shot Randy Orton with a Crossroads 1-2-3, despite Randy Orton just being like, one, about to pin Cody, two, being able to pull off his nuclear weapon on Pat McAfee. Like Randy's been in control for 2-3 minutes at this point, and then he just eats one Crossroads and that's it, and it's over. Oh, but he does get up and he punts Cody in the face, and then we go off with Randy holding the title. What the fuck even happened?
Buddy, I don't know. Shit.
Like this was like. I'm like standing, I stood up at the end, and I'm like, because I'm about to shut it off and like go take a shower and go to bed, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just, what?
It didn't make sense. It was snake bitten from the beginning. The whole thing was a fucking train wreck. And then Pat McAfee tweets out Sunday morning that he's indeed retired from the wrestling business. Blah 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 blah. And then today,
after all.
And then today he does. Yeah. Then today he does his show with the neck brace on, and then he shows up at the Penguins game tonight with the neck brace on. It's like, I appreciate that you're keeping kayfabe here, pal, but like, for fuck's sake,
like, shut it off. Phone it in. You're done. Anyway,
this had a chance to be a genuinely good build and a genuinely good story, and we got shit stew. I don't.
This was it. It was awful, and to sandwich it with the first match of the paid hour or of the paid show with another huge pile of shit, it really kind of like stinks out the middle a little bit, especially when you consider like, Stephanie versus Liv was horrendously short. So like
Yeah,
we're
it was
already
god awful.
like we're going into this like, you fucking bitches, like what do you do?
So I had mentioned that we did a good job, you and I, not having too many conversations this weekend, so we could kind of really just hash it out here.
Night one was kind of awful. It was
Saturday night.
pretty
I
awful.
almost texted you and said, I've lost all hope for Sunday. And then I didn't. And then, I continued to, scroll the message boards and stuff. And then I find out that Andreas Hale or Andreas ESPN reporter that gave the harsh criticism of WrestlePalooza on ESPN's debut, WWE's ESPN debut, and also covered the Janelle Grant case for ESPN, was denied access into Allegiant Stadium on Saturday evening and was banned from covering WWE via WWE.
R-Truth called him a bitch or something.
What's that? Oh, yeah, R-Truth did call him a bitch. Yes, on the Twitter machine, R-Truth did call him a bitch. This feels very Vince McMahon to me that Nick Khan and Triple H would do this.
I'm not surprised. I wasn't surprised when it happened. I was like, well, if you're going to be power against the product that they just paid, what, $4 billion with a B billion dollars for? Like, okay, yeah, you're gonna let's tear down this thing that like the company I work for put $1 billion into. Are there things to tear WWE down about? Absolutely.
I think we've been doing that for the last hour and 3 minutes.
Yes.
Because night one was fucking abysmal.
Are there things to tear night? Yes. And he totally would have ripped this a new probably would have ripped this a new asshole. But also you work for the company that just paid $4 billion for this with a B. We can't publish what you're gonna write because it's bad. It's gonna speak bad about the asset we overpaid for. I don't know. It's I mean, I probably wouldn't let him in either, but at the same time, like, I mean, looks super shady after the fact, right?
I mean, it certainly does. Certainly does. So as we lay our heads to the pillows on Saturday nights and with hopes of betterment on Sunday evening,
visions of sugar plums,
we go to sleep, we wake up, and the internet is still ablaze with criticism over night one and how Cody and Randy Orton was probably the worst WrestleMania match, main event of all time.
It's up there.
And then we coast through the day and we land at ESPN Network, 6 p.m. Whew. Over. Listen, my cousin texted me. It might have been Friday of last week, and he goes, he's a casual viewer. He goes, buddy, how's this Obafemi dude over so much so quickly?
Because he's awesome. Because he's fucking awesome.
And I said, man, I wasn't a believer at first, but Oba's got it. And then Brock Lesnar feels like he's got it because Brock was very giving through the entirety of this build-up.
I couldn't believe my eyes. This whole it was super short. They got 8 minutes too.
Hold on, I'm on night one results. Give me.
It was
4 minutes and 46 seconds.
Oh, it was probably 8 minutes, including like entrances. Holy shit. And it was probably 8 minutes, including like Brock taking off his boots. Holy shit. Like, everybody kind of got their shit in real fast.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, and I was.
You think they were backstage? Brock was like, "Hey kid, I'm gonna show you how to make $1 million."
Probably.
And then went out and did like 3/4 of the match and said, "Take her home, kid."
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that was. I don't know what I expected out of this. Like, I hoped Oba would win. And I know that Paul Heyman had said that the next match that Brock Lesnar loses is his last WrestleMania match. So everybody going, here's his last match, or his last wrestling match. And I know going into this, it was like, oh shit, well, he's clearly going to beat Oba. Then.
Yeah. I mean, you and I said that.
Yeah. And it was like, no. Oba shrugged off a couple things. And then, like, in the post show,
no sold a fucking F5.
He sold it for like 30 seconds.
Well, the internet's calling that a no sell, and you know, if I want to be a stickler for the rules around here, I'd say that you yourself earlier called that a no sell when speaking of somebody else.
I didn't love it, if I'm being honest. I didn't love how quickly he got up from that F5. I didn't love it. But so little had happened up to that point that I'm like, maybe I'm not the maddest at this, because he got up a little slow at first.
Because that's the first F5 he's been hit with.
It is. And he took it like a champ. Like, he ate all of it.
The F5 should have been a far more protected move than it actually was.
And I think that was my like brush off about it, is that like a lot of people have kicked out of like 2 or 3 F5s, like after, like, they're dead when they do it, and like Brock gets up like, what the fuck? But
I think too that's probably got to be a lot on Brock Lesnar, right? Because he had a script: shoulder tackle, shoulder tackle, shoulder tackle, suplex, 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 F5, kick out, shoulder tackle, shoulder tackle, shoulder tackle, suplex, 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 F5, kick out. Like, that was kind of how a lot of his matches went, especially in the later years. So,
but when it happened, and then Brock took the boots off, I thought commentary sold it great. Immediately, I'm like, oh shit, we're watching a different show tonight.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a different show.
Yeah. And that was, I think, a little shock value too. And you know, they definitely marketed Brock Lesnar to that mainstream sports audience on ESPN. You know, the greatest combat athlete to ever live. You know, and they talk about his wrestling. You know, his wrestling, his UFC, and then it's obviously his WWE career. A lot of that's true, man. Brock, fucking top tier athlete. You know what I mean? Friend of the show, Pat Martin. Cavaliers game must be over. He said, you know, it's bad when I don't like a Cody Rhodes match.
Pat, you were invited, by the way, until everything got rained and snowed out. And I didn't. SummerSlam, Pat's invited.
Yeah, this fucking maniac the other day calls me at like 10 a.m. He's like, hey, you want to go to Charlotte Hornets playoff game tonight? I was like, what time's it start? He's like, 7. I said, I'm going to have to leave like now.
I have to go.
Or he's like, it would have been a good time. Oh, fuck, man. I'd have done it too. I had to go to the doctor's appointment.
I don't know if you'd have made it. You'd have been skidding in the Jeep. Or you did take a
But
flight, take an Uber.
I was gonna drive for sure.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you guys don't even have. You'd have to drive up here first to get on a flight.
Well, yeah, I drove.
Yeah.
Anywho, back to Oba and Brock. Sorry. Yeah, I think that it did a good job for WWE to get a little bit of exposure to the mainstream sports fan, being that they were on ESPN. I'm going to be really interested to see what the metrics are coming out of this, like as far as that viewership on those platforms versus what translates over into the app and purchases and stuff. Because we'll get to see and hear about it eventually.
Yeah.
But
you talk. I'll pee and move on to the next one.
But I feel like this was one of those matches, and Tom and I talk about this a lot, especially early on in the AEW with the AEW piece. This is the type of match that makes you want to click that buy button, and it's like, oh, that was cool, and I think that it deserved probably 10, 12 minutes as opposed to the 4 that it got, but I understand why it only got 4 and why that it was the way that it was, and then Brock retiring in the middle of the ring, that was really cool, unexpected. Hopefully he sticks to it, because I'm really going to hate that he's going to want to look at it from the standpoint of another payday, because that's exactly how a lot of people are going to feel. He's not going to fucking care, but, yeah, but this match definitely is one of those that makes you want to click the buy button. And then, they roll you into the next match, which is the ladder match between Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, JD McDonough, and Rusev. That's another type of match that really makes you want to click the buy button. And this match was full of a ton of great spots, a lot of excitement, a lot of heavy hits. I can't wait until Tom gets back so we can talk about it. But these were the types of matches that, from a casual perspective, that would make me want to click the buy button. And I think they did a really good job on night 2, kind of showcasing what was going to be behind the paywall, far better than they did on night 1 with the Usos and LA Knight and the Vision and I Show Speed. And then obviously Jacob Fatu and Drew. I think that this was a better 2 matches to make somebody want to get behind the paywall and see what's coming next, as opposed to what happened on night 1.
Did you already get through the ladder match?
I did not. I talked about it, but I didn't talk about it.
So we should talk about it.
I was waiting for it. I just simply said that Oba versus Brock needed a little bit more time and should have been done a little bit differently. But I hope that Brock stays to his retirement because it'll not look all that great. But these were the 2 types of matches this was the 2 matches I think that made me want to click buy more than night 1.
Yeah, for sure.
If I was a casual.
For sure. If not the first one, because you got to see Brock Lesnar and a new face just be like, holy shit, who is this guy? This next ladder match was, oh boy.
I thought this match was very well done. This ladder match, obviously, like I said already, Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, JD McDonough, and Rusev. I thought this match was great, Tom.
There were so many good spots that made sense and everybody sold, but like everybody also kind of died. JD McDonough taking the Mexican Destroyer on the ladder was, when I saw it happen, oh God, JD's dead. Like that's what I said. I said it out loud. Like, well, he's dead now. Rusev came back from the dead after Rey Mysterio drove him through a table or through a ladder on the outside. Just
a lot of really good ladder spots.
Just a bunch of train wrecks, but like everybody kind of lived through it. Javon Evans, I thought, had a great OG cutter off the top rope.
It felt very Sammy Guevara and Cody Rhodes.
It looked real good. I mean, Penta retaining after all of that was
great decision.
I thought so. I think so too. great. Penta retains.
Because you've got to look at most of your middle card is that lucha type, that lucha style talent on SmackDown right now. With a Rusev or an Aleister Black mixed in, but it sounds like Aleister's being looked at for main event storylines at this point, if we're to believe the dirt sheets with this whole Randy Orton thing. But a lot of your mid card on SmackDown are those lucha type wrestlers, lucha type performance, and Penta is that's Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that, are those type, and Penta is by far your most popular. And then you sprinkle Rey Mysterio in there, who absolutely deserved to be in that ladder match at WrestleMania.
And not being retired by Gunther.
Yes.
Otherwise.
I think Dom needs to be the one.
Good enough to come in.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Dom.
It needs to be Dom.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the match, and I thought that it was a car crash in all the right ways. A couple of those ladder spots were phenomenal. You talked about the whatchanuts, the Canadian or the Mexican Destroyer, onto the ladder, and then JD. Ray just fucking. It was very, very well done. Very well done.
Everybody got a spot, and it was tight, but it wasn't too fast either. And I think that maybe because it was, only first hour only, whatever, on
15 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yeah, they got 15 minutes out of it, and I don't think that was. I mean, it was a little tight. I'd have watched it for 25 minutes, but they were trying to get it in on ESPN in the first hour, while including entrances. Well, sort of. They kind of did play some commercials through some of the entrances to this match. But, while getting entrances in, both with Oba and Brock, because that was important, while, shoving out, they have to get in an hour of live, cable television. But yeah, for the 15 minutes that this match got, I thought it was like, holy shit, it never stopped. Everybody went full tilt for 15 minutes. Everything made sense. Everything looked good. And Penta retains in a sort of kind of exalted fashion. And I thought it was all very good. So yeah, this was great. And the first hour on ESPN, the night one, far and away, a better first hour. It wasn't even close. It was night and day. Yeah. So good.
Yes. And like I said, if I'm contemplating, even if I'm a not so casual fan that doesn't have access to ESPN Unlimited, and hasn't pulled the trigger on it yet, and I'm watching it, and it's like, man, I really want to watch WrestleMania. And I watch night one, that first hour, watch night one. Yeah, dude, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right, we're good. What else is on?
Yeah. But night two, it's
let's watch.
night two, it's just like, oh, okay. And I think Paul Heyman said it best, and this was hyperbole at the time, but the real main event of WrestleMania, Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar, you and I talked about it, it felt bigger, it felt more special than anything else. And Roman and Punk's build, and we'll get to that here in a little bit, was very well done too. But Brock and Oba felt big.
It was what I was most excited to see.
And for it to be the kickoff for the first time ever on ESPN proper, for Brock Lesnar to be in that spot, which starts WrestleMania night 2, which could be the biggest WrestleMania, ESPN, the whole app thing, all the stuff you and I are talking about, that you're in that spot. Is that truly the real main event of WrestleMania?
I mean, it's the thing that makes or breaks it, I think, especially after how bad night one flopped. I mean, it's certainly what makes or breaks it. You go out there. If you go out there and you have Brock beat Oba in however much time, and then just step right back out, and the whole thing takes 5 minutes, including entrances, Brock leaving. Brock doesn't retire, take his shoes off, cry, thank everybody, all that. You don't have that. I think that the first. I think everybody tunes out. Oh, Brock Lesnar killed a guy. All right, whatever. off. That's it. You know, who are these guys? I don't know who these guys are, especially if you're a casual fan who has ESPN proper and is watching ESPN. You're like, all right, we got 3 luchadors, a bald guy, a guy with a short guy with a big head, and a guy who is a young OG. All right, well, fuck this. I don't care. And then, you know, I think that happens, but you see Brock Lesnar get upset in a sort of like dominant fashion. And you're like, oh, fuck. And then you see something else come out and you're like, oh, this is a ladder match? After you're sort of shocked from the initial match. And you're like, okay. And then you watch this match. And you're like, oh, well, maybe $30 isn't that much money. Right? At that point, I got some beers in the fridge. $30 isn't that much money. Right? And that's where you go.
And that's it.
And that's what night 2 did. Night 2 did the exact opposite of what night 1 did. Yep. Night 1 made you go, pew.
Yep. Great job to start this night on ESPN proper. You know, and again, I think that I'll be interested to see what some of these metrics come back as, just because, you know, we talk about that stuff and it's interesting. But going behind the paywall, we start off Trick Williams and Sami Zayn, and then you've still got mainstream star power with Little Yachty being involved in a less egregious way than Pat McAfee. So
this was still the worst match on night 2. Because
absolutely, absolutely, and it was still good.
It was fine. Sami Zayn
it served its purpose.
Sami Zayn didn't deserve this spot.
No,
he shouldn't have been there. I would have much preferred Carmelo to be here. Maybe have Sami be involved some way, shape, or form. He could be the special guest referee.
Yeah, but then so listen, I had a feeling we were going to go this way, but you got to hear me out on this, okay? Carmelo absolutely deserved to be in this spot. Okay. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, he has been the guy. He is the blue brand right now.
He was the only reason to tune into the blue brand for the last 6 months.
But Trick Williams is a big, massive star.
Look, I think Trick versus Carmelo for the U.S. title.
Here's the problem.
Better match.
Here's the problem, though. You don't want Trick to undercut Carmelo by having him beat him at WrestleMania. You can't let Carmelo beat Trick Williams at WrestleMania. You can't. Well, because then you ruin Carmelo's career. You can't. It had to be this way.
I see your argument. And I will concede that both of those.
It had to be this way.
That both. I
need you to accept that it had to be this way.
All right, I accept because I hear your argument, and in my head,
was it the right decision? No, but was it the right decision? Yes. Because now you put yourself in the position to build 2 stars instead of 1 at the expense of another.
All right.
2 guys that we both genuinely enjoy watching.
You're right. Didn't want to see either of them lose at WrestleMania. Did want to see Sami Zayn lose. I feel like I've wanted to see Sami Zayn lose for a long time.
I mean, we fell off the Sami train after him and KO lost the tag titles coming off the WrestleMania main event.
I feel like I'd have rather seen Sami get his head taken off by a chair, being honest.
You know, this Dudley Do-Right character that Sami Zayn's playing,
it sucks. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
I want the little psychotic little rat Sami Zayn. That's the one that I want.
The conspiracy theory Sami Zayn.
I want that guy.
Yeah, that guy was good. It's a conspiracy against me, but he still lost a bunch of matches because it was a conspiracy.
I want heel Sammy is what I want.
Yeah.
And we're starting to get him, and I was hoping that we were going to get the double turn because technically Trick Williams is a heel. I I was hoping we were going to get the double turn that we all just were hoping for and we wanted, and we didn't get that.
No.
And maybe it's because Sammy's not capable of doing that. But I need heel Sammy, because I would be okay. Full disclosure, I would be okay Sami Zayn having a world title run. He's worked hard. He's deserved it.
I would be so mad about it. I would bitch about it so hard.
But this version of Sami Zayn does not get a fucking world title. No. Heel Sami Zayn needs to win the world title.
Almost on accident. I feel like on accident would be good. Or if KO helped.
Yeah, something.
That's another thing I'm sad about, is that Kevin Owens did not show up. I wouldn't put money on it that he was going to show up, but I had a speck of hope that we might see Kevin Owens show up, because it's WrestleMania. I was like, it'd be really nice to see Kevin Owens and hear that he's cleared on Monday. And maybe he showed up after I shut the show off. Probably not. But
the pop when KO comes back is going to be unreal.
And that's why I was thinking, like, especially for this match, because it was the worst match on the card, for this night. If KO would have come back at this moment, I wouldn't talk. But again, like you had said earlier, it would have undercut Trick Williams, and it wouldn't have made him seem like a star had Kevin Owens come back. Because all we talk about is, oh fuck, Kevin Owens is back.
Yes.
And maybe it happens tonight. Maybe it happens on Friday.
Maybe we can hope. But yeah, Trick Williams, new United States champion. Be interested to see where that goes. I'm here for that.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
Yeah, I'm here for that. I think
he and Carmelo can run it back and have a long feud up to SummerSlam for that. Like, they could even bounce the title back,
because they had a great feud in NXT, and to bring that to the main roster for everybody to see and fucking blow it out of the park, I think will do wonders for both of their careers.
Absolutely. I am on board.
So, moving on, we had Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio.
Loved it. The Demon.
I loved it too. Listen, the Demon. I'm sitting there and I'm watching it. My wife's sitting there, and very few wrestling events get living room time. Okay, so WrestleMania got living room time this weekend, and my wife was sitting there, and Dominic comes out, great entrance. A lot of people are saying it's a shot at AEW. I mean, whatever.
On the throne, being carried with the luchador masks while he's wearing the luchador mask. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was great. King of the luchadors. So the music hits, right? The doom doom for the Demon, and I went, why'd they advertise this?
Yeah,
like
you're right.
That was like literally as soon as the first heartbeat hit, I just groaned and I said, man, why did they advertise this? Because if they would have just advertised it as Finn Balor versus Dominic, and then you hear that first dun dun, right? Yeah. It's just like,
I'd have been like, no.
We didn't get that joy because they advertised it.
We didn't get that.
I understand why they advertised it, but at the same point in time, I don't understand why they advertised it. It's not like the Demon character has been marketable for them for the last 6 to 8 months. That
3 years.
It would need to be advertised. I think that this was one of those little Easter eggs for the Finn Balor fan that you let hatch in front of them, right? Like we got the original entrance back, then we start getting a little bit of the same mannerisms, and then next thing you know, he's on his own outside of the Judgment Day, right? Mm-hmm. We knew that it was inevitable that the Demon was going to come back. Why did you have to take that from us? Let us have it. For what? So that you sold a couple more Demon t-shirts before WrestleMania? You just sold those same 15 Demon t-shirts without advertising the Demon Finn Balor.
Yeah, you could have just put the T-shirts out there. They
Yeah,
still sold.
like what? That was my first reaction when the heartbeat hit, and
Release
then
more figures. Damn it!
he came out, and it was just like, oh, his paint looks cool.
Bum, bum, bum.
There was
He had the
there,
red and blue
there,
contact too.
there was no mystique to the demon being there because they advertised it.
Yeah,
I gave no fucks.
I mean, I gave a fuck. I liked
I
it.
did too, but it didn't hit the way that it should have.
Did you do the dano?
I mean, I do it for normal Finn Balor.
I did it. I definitely did it.
Yeah,
as I did the second one, I went, shit, Walt's gonna call me. He's gonna be like, you did the.
Yeah, I did it. Listen, and I do all the the mannerisms and shit. And every time I did it, Lindsay was just like
stunned.
She goes, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I said, "What?" She goes, "Are you fucking serious? Leave me alone."
I do
I don't talk about you and your SVU habits.
If I'm watching tonight when I was watching Raw and Oba came out at first and boom 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 boom, I walked it. I marched around.
Yeah.
Where Ashley's in playing her game, like just marching in. She's like, "Hi." It was fun. Anyway, I love this. I thought this match was great. I was certain that Finn Balor was going to lose. I was like, "Fucking the Demon's going to be 0 for 3 in the last decade." Finn Balor's going to lose again. He did not. He did not lose. Thank God.
Well, he lost to a turnbuckle. He lost to Edge with 9 staples, and then he beat Dom Mysterio. Those are the last 3 Demon appearances.
He did. He really should have beat Edge. Looking back on it,
really should have beat Roman too, because I think the time was right.
Yeah, I think Roman was being nice to him at that point. I don't remember. Roman was like, "You were denied a title shot 5 years ago. I'll give it to you." And the Demon showed up. But still, yeah, you're right.
The timing, because at that point in time, Roman had run through everybody. That's why they went searching for that one.
Yeah.
And the time really kind of felt right. But
they literally could have had Roman beat him with a rematch on Monday, and it would have been fine.
Yeah. But they made a big deal about it, and they made it feel important, and they did a really good job with Finn Balor. And that
except for the act of God.
Yeah.
That never got explained.
Yeah, never. And then he went on like a 3-year losing streak.
Pin Balor. Yeah. Despite joining the Judgment Day, but he also lost as the Demon. I do like your Jeep hoodie.
Oh, this was a Christmas gift a couple years ago. It's got my name on it.
I say it's got your name on it.
It's got my name on the sleeve too.
Oh, it does? I didn't see the sleeve. Oh shit, got your name big on the sleeve.
Yeah.
I like that.
I got my Jeep hat on,
Looks road worn.
It's a cult. You wouldn't understand.
Yeah. We've Ashley said because we have working vehicles.
So do I.
For now.
It's running real good right now.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so happy for it.
I've only got $1,500 worth of fucking front end parts sitting in the garage getting ready to be put on because it's running great.
Oh, good. Yeah, don't put those on while it's running good. Maybe when it goes down.
No. Those parts need replaced. It's not driving real great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it runs.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
yeah,
I used to run too.
We're good. We're good. We're good. It's good to have the Jeep back on the road.
That's good. I'm glad for you. I'm glad for your Jeep. I'm glad for Thanos.
We went on a great little Jeep adventure this weekend.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, blew off a lot of responsibility this weekend.
Good. It fucking snowed and rained here, so
yeah.
fuck was I gonna do?
Good weekend, fam. Anywho, yeah, man. I wish they wouldn't have advertised it. I don't think I can say that enough.
I hadn't thought about that, and now that you've said it, I'm like, oh, I would have liked that better. That would have popped me. So I'd probably ran and I'd have done a lap. Oh my god, the demon! Oh my god,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not like it's something I thought about. It was just that's how I felt in the moment. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, shouldn't have advertised it. And the wife was like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, this thing.
They told me that the demon was going to be.
They told me this was going to happen, and now I'm just like, good to see it.
Had they not told me, I'd have been so much more excited.
Yeah.
The element of surprise would have been better.
Yeah, missed out. I hope they enjoyed those couple extra bucks, though. Moving on, we had the Women's WWE Championship. Jade Cargill defending against Rhea Ripley.
This had no this had no business being as good as it was. The build was so bad.
It had no business being in this spot either, but I think that I see what they did here this year.
The build was so bad, but somehow this was really good.
Jade looked pretty good.
Jade looked really good.
And I can't give all that credit to Rhea because Jade was where she was supposed to be when she was supposed to be there. And
this was Jade's best match in WWE by a lot.
I mean, it needed to be.
Yeah.
And she delivered, and kudos to her because she had a great dance partner, and I'm not taking anything away from Rhea Ripley, but I want to make sure that Jade Cargill gets a little bit of flowers here because she worked a hell of a match.
Mm-hmm. And everything she did looked great. We were speaking of the one-winged angel before. This is where it happened.
Yes.
And they called it the sandstorm. This was probably the most believable of this move that I've seen because like Rhea was only up there for 2 or 3 seconds and she's throwing punches the whole time. And like Jade actually caught a punch while she's up there and pulled her down to do it. And I went, one-winged angel. I still don't like the electric chair. I am not saying I like it. But like they somehow managed to pull it off in the cleanest way that I've ever seen. All right, go on. Okay, go ahead.
I
drink some water.
I cannot believe your audacity sometimes.
It was so fast. It happened so fast.
I cannot.
It happened so fast.
Believe that your brand integrity is so skewed.
See, that's where you're wrong, is that I have brand integrity.
You are a fed head.
Is that like an edge head? Am I like Matt Cardona?
That's what they call the WWE marks, fed heads.
Oh. I must not be on that side of Twitter or Reddit or Facebook, wherever it is. Fuck Facebook, by the way. Cancel my goddamn account. Fuck you. Fucking Mark Zuckerberg, motherfucker.
Canceled your account again.
No. Just the first one. Where you guys all texted me the next morning. Hey, what happened to your Facebook? What? Oh, I guess it's ruined forever. I guess it's deleted indefinitely.
Yeah. We had to like move to like real text messages and shit, and then I couldn't send you screenshots anymore.
I mean, I'm back on now and we're friends, so.
Yeah, I mean, we probably, I don't know, it just feels dirty now.
It does. Look, it feels dirty to look. It really does.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to try it in this post WrestleMania season. Anyways, Rhea Ripley gets the win with a riptide. Little bit of chicanery, huh?
A little bit. You had Io come out to take care of Michin and BFAB, who were part of a terrible build for this. But somehow that still made sense. Like when Io came out, I'm like, oh god, it's Io, and like Io came out and like things were like coolest part of this match by far really was Io. It had nothing to do with Rhea or Jade. It was like Io is standing there. She like points at Jade and like does a backflip immediately onto. It was just like, and she got up.
The insult did kind of come out of nowhere, man. Like,
and then Rhea hits the Riptide 1, 2, 3. I was like, from there. Or no, actually, Jade kind of like gets out of the first one and like goes to put her up in the Jaded, and then like Rhea rolls through and somehow comes up with it. And I was like, like that whole like last 45 seconds of that match was like, that was master. It was like everything leading up to that was good. It was very good. But it was like that, like last 45 seconds was like, holy fuck, what did they just pull off? Like that was like the coolest WrestleMania, like 45-second, like long spot in existence, because it was a long spot and involved like 5 people. And it was just like, nope, we win. We did great. We pulled this off. And then coming out of it, I'm like, huh, holy shit. They really did it. That was good. It's really good. And then, you got the little celebration at the end, which was nice. And then they actually, spoiler alert, they opened the show tonight. It was Io and Rhea versus the Kabuki Warriors. Their tag match went longer than the women's tag championship match on WrestleMania Saturday. And it was a far superior match.
That doesn't surprise me.
Far superior. It went longer and was far superior.
Doesn't surprise me.
So WrestleMania Night 1 is it's a bad Raw or SmackDown, essentially, with more commercials. Just to shit on WrestleMania Night 1 a little harder.
And then we round out the weekend with the World Heavyweight Championship match between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. The main event of main events. So much so that they were promoting this as acknowledge the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Went on as far as to say that this was CM Punk's first main event in WrestleMania.
Despite last year being the first
Despite last year main eventing Night 1 and then making a big deal about it last year. They made no secret that this was the name on the marquee.
Yes. It had a good build. I don't say a great build.
For the show, Pat Martin, Rhea needs to eat. I'm willing to bet, pal, that you probably missed the news that she told the world she's been dealing with a little bit of an eating disorder.
So so you're right. To point out to Pat, you are correct. She agrees with you. That's the problem. She's having a crisis here, but not a crisis enough not to work WrestleMania Sunday and then Raw Monday. So apparently she's on the upswing. Hopefully for her sake. But you're right, and she agrees with you that she needs to be a little less lean, so to speak, because she's not like soups. She's not like sickly skinny. We've had instances where wrestlers have looked sickly skinny.
Charlotte Flair.
Her, Becky had a phase, yeah. So did Shotzi Blackheart. You and I were like, she gonna be okay? Because like I can see her femur. It was legit concerning because like she was perfectly acceptable sized.
I should have brought 2 bottles of water for this show.
And then it was like, why can I see the outline of her femur? That's not okay. Anyway, point being, she has acknowledged that. Hopefully she is on the upswing of that. But yes, Punk versus Reigns. Holy shit. This got all the time it wanted. I don't think it went a minute too long. I don't think it went a minute too short. I thought it was booked about as well as it could have been booked. I love that Punk just didn't have any more. I love that the tank just ran out. I like that narrative. I like where he went with it tonight when he came out and talked to Cody. I like that his tank just ran out. He was there. He was in it the whole time. The only spot I didn't like, and I texted you about this, I did not like the stairs being bounced off his head. I'm sure it was to like bust him open. I don't know if it was a blade job or if somehow Roman just caught him just right to get that little nick in his forehead, just to get him a little bit of a crimson mask that didn't seem to be anything other than aesthetic. That would be kudos to Roman for being able to wield fucking heavy ass chair like steps to just nick somebody right on that forehead bone. I imagine Punk gave himself a little how's your father there, but man, other than that spot.
Well, and here's the thing, right? You said it's hard to explain it away, because it's the main event at WrestleMania. If we want to be honest, the rules of the ring have kind of skewed in the last 5-ish years.
Well, I mean, if you remember during the Attitude Era,
announcer's table is acceptable to use as a weapon, and the steel steps, you're allowed to throw people into the steel steps. You're allowed to throw them into the barricade. But you're not allowed to hit them with a steel chair.
You are allowed to bounce their head off a post because the post doesn't move.
Yes.
I get it's a gray area. I understand, and I'm not. I can explain it away. It's just that I feel like they could have done they could have done anything else in that moment. Roman could have just come up and like held him and went bang and hit it and just like whatever, like grabbed his hair or something, and like that would have been also pooty poo cheating, but like not as bad as like, hey, I've got these things that are like actually really heavy because we step on them, and I smacked him in the head with it. It's like, I feel like there were better ways they could have just not done that spot. Well, he could have thrown his head into the steps instead, like put the step up and just gone bang and then push the step back down or something like that. I don't know if the step fits that way. Maybe this was just the safer way to do it. That's probably the case. But I didn't like it, and I thought there could have been better creative ways. But that's like my only real criticism, and it was a half a second moment in a 24-minute match. So
34.
Okay, but so still, like, they had every second nailed down. Other than that, there were 2 bad seconds.
Yeah, I think this thing was a fucking masterpiece, bro.
They knocked it out of the park. They really did.
These guys, they delivered in the build from the Royal Rumble all the way till now. And the match absolutely delivered.
Felt like a big main event. It felt bigger than a lot of the last couple main events.
And I know that we just said the same thing about Obafemi and Brock Lesnar not even 40 minutes ago, but they knocked this out of the park. Like, these matches felt big and they delivered. They felt big for a reason, because they were big. They were a big deal. The build was done right with the right people.
It felt like to me that they had so many sort of roadblocks on the road to WrestleMania with injuries and who's going to be there, late returns and what have you. They were like, all right, we're going to put all the bullshit on night one. Everything that kind of got fucked along the way, we're just going to get it out of the way on night one. And sink or swim, Becky and AJ sorry, you guys are going to get cut a little short, but you're there to kind of help save everything, but everything else kind of got fucked. So we're just going to throw it out there and try to make something come out of it as opposed to save what's left. And that's what night 1 was. But night 2 was like, all right, night 2, we're going to deliver on everything we got right. And that's just what happened. And
the only thing that didn't have like great that was a cold match was the ladder match on this particular show. I mean, obviously Rhea won the Elimination Chamber, and we've been building since February to that. Finn and Dom has been going on for years now. And then Punk and Roman, obviously, since the Rumble in January.
Same thing with Lesnar and Obafemi since the Rumble, really.
Yeah, because, I mean, they collided in the Rumble a little bit. So there was definitely some more long-term completions here, I guess. I don't know. The quality of performance on night 1 was just not up to par as night 2. And I think a lot of that had to do with a lack of continuity into the story. Like you said, I just
things that fell apart, and they were just like, all right,
it should have been better.
Had night 2 not been such that opposite side of the coin, had it not been so much better, like historically speaking, 3-4 months from now, WrestleMania was fine. Like, we're not going to think of it as a terrible WrestleMania. We're not going to think of it as like the greatest WrestleMania of all time. We're going to be like, oh, it was perfectly fine. Like 6 months from now, it's going to wash over, and we're going to be like, oh man, remember Brock Lesnar and Obafemi? That was really good. Oh man, Punk and Reigns, that was good. And, they'll do a little callback here and there. Oh my God, fucking the Demon versus Dom Mysterio. Like, that's a big deal for Dom Mysterio. That's a big deal for this. I think Rhea will hold the title for a long time. So, that'll be that sort of lingering essence of that. We'll see where Trick and his title defenses go. I think that Trick's gonna oversee Sami Zayn, and like you said, maybe Sami has a heel turn, ends up fucking around in the main event, but then you can have Trick Williams having matches with Carmelo Hayes, having matches with Ilya Dragunov, having matches with just guys of that ilk.
Well, Trick Williams isn't going to keep the United States Open Challenge up. There's no way, right?
No. But I would honestly like to see some, once they have the superstar shakeup too, because obviously there's like ready-made stuff with Carmelo and with Ilya Dragunov and stuff like that. But like once a superstar shakeup happens, I would like to maybe see, a Trick Williams versus JD McDonough, Trick Williams versus maybe Javon Evans, maybe even Rusev. I think that would be a good kind of a matchup. Honestly, Rusev is one of the ones I'd like to see first. So I think there's a lot of good to come out of that, despite my being lackluster on Sammy. And it's just okay, they're putting the title on the right guy and Sammy's that transitional, because that's really all he was a transitional champion. So I'm more forgiving of that, but at the same time, it's okay, now you got to do something with that, and things can come out of that one. And I think that night 2 puts them in a much better spot than night 1 did. I still think the women's tag division is going to be dog shit coming out of this. I don't think it helps Paige at all.
No,
it hurts her.
I hope they make pretty quick work of her not having that title.
I would hope that once Nikki is able to wrestle again, the Bellas turn on her. And then, maybe get some kind of nostalgia, something out of that. Paige versus the Bellas, and they can get a couple nights out of that. I don't think that I want to see those go long, but those might be interesting promos. Couple, get 2 good matches out of that, and then let the Bellas ride off into the sunset for a little while. Let Paige do her own thing. Paige is only 33. Paige is 7 years younger than
with a history of broken necks.
She's still 7 years younger than every other woman in the main event. And you know what? They don't drop each other on their necks so much anymore. So, maybe it'll be okay. It seems to be more of a like.
I can't stand you.
What did I do? I didn't do nothing.
When Paige came back to AEW, you were so concerned for her safety, and that this, that, and the third, and now she comes back to WWE.
AEW, where at that point in time, might I remind you, they dropped everybody and their cousin. First of all, they killed Adam Cole. He's dead. Keith Lee's dead. Fucking, they killed Top Flight. Those guys.
We're talking about men. We are not talking about women.
Look, AEW was busy breaking fucking necks, is what they were doing at that point in time. So they brought Paige back with a broken fucking neck to a place that was breaking fucking necks at that point in time. Okay, that was my concern this time. Paige she didn't even take a bump on Saturday. Like she the only bump she took was when she gave Alexa Bliss the Rampage. That was the bump she took. That was it.
Here you go.
Oh my god.
Here you go. See,
look, the second Paige starts taking Sasha Banks-esque bumps, banging her head off a turnbuckle, I'm gonna be like, nope, we gotta stop this shit. This has to stop right now. This is bad.
Shame on you.
You were gonna kill a woman.
Shame on you.
She did not, buddy. She didn't take a bump. Her existence was to be there and be a friend of the Bellas, and yeah, no, you're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me here.
Shame on you.
Oh, jeez.
So after all this is said and done, Roman gets on the podium outside the arena, calls out Obafemi.
I hope not. I hope they forget about that.
Yeah, me too, buddy. No.
Let's keep these two guys far away from each other.
They've got at least another year, maybe two. No.
If if you have Roman beat Oba, okay. Roman's back on top. That's boring. If you have Oba beat Roman, where does he go from here? There's no mountain to climb. The fans will turn on. What do you run him through everybody else? The fans will turn on him. It's
a terrible idea.
You can't let these guys fight each other. You just can't.
And then Roman says he's going to work full-time schedule this summer.
Till SummerSlam, I'm sure.
That's
the biggest part of the summer.
He's going to work full-time schedule this summer.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, great. And then maybe he doesn't. I don't know if he's on TV tonight. He wasn't. I don't know that he was advertised. I'm sure he's in the building. Like, he's got to be out.
It's
tonight.
the Raw after WrestleMania, and he just won the title for that brand. Yeah, he's gonna be there.
It's his 11th title reign. Also, I want to point out this is the 11th time Roman's won a world title.
Okay.
I'm just saying that, like, it puts him. He's in shooting range of.
He's in the conversation, but he wouldn't be in the conversation if it wasn't for the last title reign.
The one that lasted 3 years.
Arguably the best WWE title reign of all time.
I mean, it probably is, because, like, the really long Hulk Hogan one was terrible. Both of the really long Hulk Hogan. He just wasn't, like, he didn't wrestle. Like, he did, but he didn't. He'd be, like, in a tag match on a pay-per-view. He defended the title, like, twice a year against General Chuchas.
Friend of the show, Pat Martin, says that, well, you need to get some lemon pepper steppers. Hey, bud, no wardrobe is complete without a pair of lemon pepper steppers, okay?
What the fuck is the lemon pepper? And I don't want to know. Fantastic main event. Wonderful. Like, delivered in every way that I didn't think it was gonna. I was ready to be like, oh no, they're gonna get 20 minutes. Oh my god, it's gonna be over. It was still over at like 9:30, if we're being fair. Like it was 6:30.
Yeah, that shit sucked.
Like why does this shit why does it have to start so early if it's only gonna be a couple hours?
I was so unfulfilled. Like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm like, what am I supposed to do now?
The post show was over at 10 o'clock. I'm like, what's happening? Like, why? Also, I had to rush home from a fucking soccer game that started at 4:30 so that I could be 20 minutes late. And thankfully, ESPN let me fast forward on night 2 through some commercials, and I got to watch everything like up to speed through I got to watch like a condensed version of the pre-show by fast forwarding through commercials. But like, why doesn't this start at 8? Like, if it's gonna go 3.5 hours, start at 8 o'clock. It's fine if it's over at 11:30. Start at 7, for fuck's sake. 10:30 is great, fantastic, and then the pre-show goes to 11. Okay, wonderful. Like,
you text me on Sunday and you were like, it's 10 o'clock. Guess I'll go to bed. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, it was like,
yeah. What do you want from me, bro? Like, I'm
just gonna go take a shower, I suppose, and lay in bed. I read a little bit, like reading a book. It was WrestleMania Sunday. WrestleMania ended an hour and a half ago. I'm just gonna read a book. It's fucking 11 o'clock. What are we doing? Like, come on, man. Like, do you remember like a couple years ago, WrestleMania was like 7.5 hours long. Like, it started at 6, it ended at like 12:30. Or like, no, it ended at like 1:30. We were like, oh my god. We were texting each other going, we have to work tomorrow. The main event hasn't started yet.
And I think that that right there is exactly why we have the 2-night format. But they need to do a better job with these night ones. Because
it can start at 7. Like, can it start at 7? Like, I can be home for 7. 6 o'clock is a hard ask on a Saturday or a Sunday. Can it start at 7, please? Fuck's sake. And, like, maybe 20 minutes of less commercials. Give everybody 2 or 3 more minutes. Fuck.
All right, bud. Well, got to do it.
My match of the week, unsurprisingly, comes from WrestleMania. I thought Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio was the way. It surprised me, which is hard to do at WrestleMania. I was sure Finn Balor was eating the pin on this. He did not. Love the Demon entrance. Like I said, only criticism, like you had said, only criticism really is that they advertised that it's the Demon and not Finn Balor. I feel like that would have added even more seasoning to all of this had they done that. But this match, otherwise, start to finish, was great. Dom was great. The entrances were great. Other than, like you said, them telling me that it was going to be the Demon, it was perfect. It didn't like.
I think it was definitely the icing on the cake to that story, and I hope that they don't cross paths for a little while. I think that Finn has separated himself from the Judgment Day and Dominic Mysterio, and he needs to go and do his thing. And I hope that they see that, they realize that they understand that.
Moving to different shows,
but
Friday,
and by virtue of obviously Punk and Roman being the match of the week, the match of the show, the absolute pinnacle of WrestleMania 42. I still think that Becky Lynch and AJ Lee was a phenomenal match. that told a story in a short amount of time. The match was very good. It was very tight. I like that Becky's the IC champion again. Gunther Rollins was awesome. Finn and Dom, and obviously Punk and Roman. Just a lot of good to go around this week. Amongst a heavily criticized show, overall, I'd say WrestleMania as a whole, I'm gonna give it a B. Tom.
I would say, yeah, I'll agree with the B. I think it had a real rough start. Saturday was, man, if it weren't for a couple of matches really just kind of sticking out, the Becky and AJ Lee match, and then the Rollins and Gunther match really sticking out as like, okay, those two matches, I don't want to say they saved the show, but they were sort of like
the show.
They were the show, exactly. There's nothing worthwhile to go back night one to look at other than those two matches. Everything else was borderline. If it wasn't unwatchable, it was just
insulting, like the women's main event.
It was fluffy, like the Usos and LA Knight. It was basically a Slim Jim commercial with.
I still think Liv and Stephanie got disrespected.
They did, but it was, and that's it was such an afterthought. My only hope for that match really is that
it gets a proper rematch.
Yeah, they get a proper rematch, and that's like they're like the main event or something of Backlash. Like I think that's the only way to redeem that, if I'm being honest. But like night one was just so it was bad, but also sort of disrespectful not only to the wrestlers but to the fans as well. So that one felt bad. They redeemed themselves really well.
How would you feel if you spent all that money and you could only afford to go to night one, and you went to night one, and that's what you spent your $10,000 on?
I'd been livid, devastated. I'd have felt. I probably wouldn't be arrested. I probably wouldn't watch WWE again after that. If that's how I was treated, because I'd only gone to night one, and been served $150 tomahawk steaks with engraved bones. I don't know. It was one of those things where it was just like, man, like watching from home is one thing, right? Like it's like, okay, it's tied into my cable provider. It's like I just get it. So it's like, yeah, okay, if I don't get it, it's $30, right? If I want to buy it piecemeal by myself. But that's just not how my like I have subscriptions, I have things, I have internet and cable and all this shit. So it's like, okay, I just get it now, right? Because it's ESPN, which is tied into everything else. But if you've cut all those other cords, you don't have it. But to just get it and just be like, all right, it's WrestleMania, let's put it on. It's time. It's like, okay, it's fine. But like, I didn't actually spend any real money. Had I left, even if we'd have a party, let's say we had a WrestleMania Saturday.
Yo, what is going on with your microphone, pal?
Something going on? Am I better now?
Better now. Whew.
Oh no. Okay. Like let's say we'd spent a bunch of money and like had a WrestleMania Saturday party and invited a bunch of people, and that was the show that we put on. Let's say we put a couple $100 into the party, getting wings or steak bites or whatever. Like we'd be pissed. Like, what the fuck did you guys do? Like, this is our Saturday. We had the day off. We put a whole spread together and stuff, and like you guys come out here and shit the bed. Like, and I'm sure there's a ton of people that did that. So that they got to do better. Or this didn't need to be 2 nights. I think that's solidified.
No, I mean you could have just eliminated the majority of night one. Could have been SmackDown
and Raw. You could have just piecemealed it out and had a 6-hour show. If you wanted to start at 6 p.m., you go 6 p.m. to midnight. WrestleMania Saturday. It's a big one. It's a long one. You put the good matches in between. That would have been that.
If they're going to continue to market their tentpole events as 2-night extravaganzas, they need to deliver on both nights. Mm-hmm. And they need to figure that out pretty quickly, because this This ain't it. This ain't it.
Can't phone it in 1 out of 2 nights. You just
Nope.
can't.
Nope. So
You want to phone in SmackDown, whatever.
Especially on top of the increasing ticket prices, and it's just your business model is based on what you put in front of the audience, and when you stop providing your service for the audience is going to stop spending their money. Okay, and you continue to raise ticket prices and you continue to underdeliver, your audience is not going to come out of pocket. Figure it out, because you have to.
Whether or not they figure this out, it's going to hurt at least night 1 of SummerSlam. For sure.
Yeah.
100%. Because SummerSlam's going to 2 nights. This will hurt the first night of SummerSlam.
Yes, it will. So, all right. I think 2.5 hours. That's a pretty good WrestleMania recap, huh?
We did good.
Yeah.
We knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hey, if you're still hanging out with us, man, we appreciate you. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up button. Maybe even consider subscribing. We would greatly appreciate it. And as always, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.
One Fall.
Oh, and the Twitter and Instagram thing too.
Oh yeah,
_fall